You raise a really good point. First, occasionally when you depend on data from others, you will be unpleasantly surprised when errors are reported in your own data that you didn't pick up on. But that's the nature of the game. We get data from the FEC, and the raw data there are on any given day, countless errors in the data. I think the Federal Election Commission does a great job of coding their data, of tracking down potential problems, errors, even violations evident in the data. But when you're talking about millions of records of data, things slip by. And of course, they can't change or correct the data without themselves. It needs to be corrected by the filers themselves. So so what that means is a process begins where they contact the filers to say, hey, we've noticed this inconsistency, or the numbers don't add up, or there's something wrong here. And then, a conversation begins about amending the filings. And so it might be, we're hamstrung by the time it takes for any fix, any correction to make its way back into the data. And we too are not going to change the data, nor will we remove data from the public record that we get just because somebody asks for it. So we have over the years had people voice concerns about privacy. I just don't like my information online, or I don't want people to see my contribution. In fact, it's public law that your record is that the record of your contribution is made public, and it's reported, and so once people understand that this has been in place for decades now, they are generally okay with it. But we have to have that conversation to say, in fact, we're going to rely on what the federal government provides, and if you convince the federal government to remove your information, then it will be removed from our data. But until that happens, it will be part of the resource that the public has access to. I think what's critical is that you're forthright if you have errors. So when it's open secrets, if we have an error that we are responsible for, we want to be the first to point that out and correct the errors as quickly as possible. And to expect on a regular basis that powerful people won't like what we're doing and that they'll push back. We've even had congressmen and big donors threatening us with lawsuits. And if you're in the right, don't knuckle under. That's the lesson there. Don't let them push you around. Stand your ground respectfully, answer promptly, address, any piece of information that has been that's erroneous and has been made public. We work with the offices, the staff in Congress, to provide them with information that helps them either defend transparency and to put forth measures for more effective disclosure and accountability. We help them understand policy issues if they have a money in politics element, and we certainly respond to them quickly when they bring to our attention some allegation that is erroneous, that they're being attacked for. But our data is used in political ads, pro and con, right and left, every day of the week. So we, from that conversation, when it's pure politics, we stand back and let people. Of course, they're going to use our data in many cases for mudslinging. And what we can do then is just simply respond if allegations have been made that are faulty, particularly when they're trying to use our data to ground an erroneous line of argument. I think it's also important to say, we had the conversation about partnerships, and I want to add to that, albeit, partnerships are important, an important opportunity for groups to leverage, particularly in this age of constantly changing and innovating opportunities in technology. They're not one size fits all. Partnerships, we have them all the time with big groups, with small groups, but it can be complicated. We're adamantly nonpartisan, for instance, so that complicates, or in some cases overrules, opportunities for partnerships that we might otherwise be interested in. So it's a consideration for us. We don't partner kind of willy-nilly. And we also similarly, we seek balance often both on our board of directors and in our partnerships with other organizations, because fortunately we have an issue that resonates with people of all ideological perspectives. So we have a robust dialogue on our blog, on social media, and that is attractive to many potential partners and groups who want to use our data to help reach those audiences on their issues, including the press. But it also, I think, makes us very aware about how we present ourselves. Again, we want to, we have invested in and built up a big resource of trust and credibility among the press and the public, and we wouldn't want to jettison that with partnerships that aren't appropriate for our group.
Sheila, you've been recently profiled in Fast Company as a pioneer among your peers and in this information and communications and technology industry. And this campaign that we've been speaking about at Changemakers is empowering women with tools and technology across the globe so that they can achieve some of the incredible work and achievements that you have. I think something that would be great for them to hear a little bit about is, as a representative of this industry, I would love to get your insights into how did you get to where you are